Hi, this is a brief overview of assessment, and especially in the new program review in Fall 18, and this is for learning centers. I want to talk about 4 questions. Generally, what's different about SLO assessment, what's different about this year's program review, if there's any changes to data collection, and then finally, what about TrackDat? If you wanted to pause and look at any of the slides at any length, because they tend to be a bit detailed, go ahead. I'm just going to plow on because I don't want this to take too long. I'm sure it would be nicer for us all if we get it over with. Okay, what's different about SLO assessment? Basically, it's more intentional. In a lot of ways, it's the same as ever. We gather data about student learning, about student achievement of outcomes that we have defined. And we use that to try to do better, to see where we can make improvements, to see what needs changing. But the model had been that we would sort of start with data collection and then see what it told us. And in fact, it's generally a much better idea to start with our impressions, the things that we think we need to research or find out more about, and use that to drive what we do with our data. The focus is again on improving student learning or achievement of the outcomes, and it's centered on some kind of a research question. What are you trying to find out? The language of program review has changed. It's roughly chronological. It moves from a discussion of the results of previous program review to what we're doing now in current assessments, and then finally planning. There's some overlap. You may find the previous program review kinds of bleeds into current assessments, and that in turn tends to bleed into planning, but that's okay. There's new language in section 3 of the section on assessment. The old language simply asks you to reflect on assessment results for courses and degrees and certificates offered by the program. Of course, that's not appropriate to learning centers because you don't. The new language instead focuses on reflecting on your assessment results, including some of the things that you use to assess your service, your learning center, and to identify trends and areas in need of improvement and explain how this helps to inform your center development and planning. We are implementing a new and we hope very unfussy documentation routine around assessment planning, because it's hard to keep track of a research question over 2 years. In fall, we're asking everyone to submit a brief assessment plan, just outlining some aspect of student learning they'd like to tackle, some ideas for how to do it. In spring, to submit a very brief plan outlining the status of that research or issue or question, whatever it is. And then, of course, in the even years, in 2018 and 2020, 2022, those assessment plans and status reports will become the basis for what you write in program review. So, for instance, here's one of the learning centers, a writing center. What outcome or aspect of service do you want to find out about? You'd have a particular aspect of what you do. What are you trying to find out? So maybe the aspect is tutorials, and what are you trying to find out? We're trying to find out if our tutorials do any good, or we want to know if workshops are helping students with editing or what have you. Some particular question that you want to prioritize. It's useful to remind ourselves and your readers in program review of why it matters, and to decide what kind of data will answer that question and what you're going to do next. And then in the spring, you'd send in this is another assessment plan. I'll just move right on. In spring, you send in a check-in. You submit a check-in, and that's just telling where we're at, attaching some spreadsheet or narrative or summary of results, or just explaining where you're at with it. If you had a meeting and kept minutes, you could attach a copy of the minutes where you discussed the result of the assessment, or just if you simply want to minute the fact that you had the meeting, that's fine. If there are any steps you're taking, you'd outline these. Perhaps you're done with it. Perhaps you've closed this loop and you've addressed a problem and you've established that your solution works. Or maybe this is something that's rolling into next year, but here you can think in terms of where to go next. The summary then is there's more of an emphasis on what we're trying to find out about our data. Program review has got a chronological structure with assessment language that's streamlined and clarified. And there's a new documentation process. So what about this year's program review? This year's program review should be better for the learning centers. The language around outcome assessment in the old program review didn't make any sense because, as I say, you don't offer degrees and certificates. So this reflects actual methods that you might actually be using to gauge how well you're achieving your goals. The questions are more open-ended and it leaves more room for you to find out what you want to find out. Now, you may find another issue with this program review. You may find that you're not sure how to deal with the results of last year's program review question. You may well do. This varies obviously from different, discipline to service to learning centers, and also different people have had different experiences with program review. But it's possible that you gathered a lot of data, you didn't have a particular question in mind, and now you have a question that you formulated in an assessment plan, but this data won't answer it. Well, if that's the case, first of all, it's fine to say that. To say we gathered all this data and it's shown us this and that, but it doesn't show us what we want to know. And so then you would, pitch the question that you want to find out going forward. However, you can also analyze the data you've got with the outcomes you've defined. You can do what you can with that. It may show you something. You can use this as an opportunity to look at your data from different angles, from an equity lens or in terms of guided pathways. You might reflect on how well your learning center is supporting an institutional learning outcome. I think I say more about that in a minute. Yes, I do, right here. So what about ILO alignment? Now, actually, there's no language in your program review question that makes you talk about how well you're supporting student learning at the institutional level. But there's no reason why you couldn't use that framework to ask yourself assessment questions. So, for instance, the learning centers often support learning in particular areas like the Math Resource Center, quantitative reasoning, the Writing Center supports effective communication, but they all support really the ability to make use of college and community resources. You all support, the ability helping students study effectively, and these are things you can look at your service, look at the results you have and ask yourself, are we helping students to really make use of our resources? That's a manageable question you can ask. So you could, if you like, use this as a framework for assessing how well you're achieving your outcomes, even though it's not actually required. You won't, of course, have an assessment plan form from, 2016 or 2017. So you'll just use your old program review, obviously. If you're new to program review, you look at your old 2016 program review for a sort of future plan section to see what you're picking up on. If you're an old hands at program review, you know all that. Any changes to data collection, which was really the focus of our old SLO routines? For learning centers, quite possibly not, because instruction, we were always in a knot about data collection because we grade all day, so we were never really sure, what data are we supposed to be collecting here? Are we grading assignments twice? It seemed weird. But in a place where you don't give, as it were, grades, you have, of course, been drawing on other forms of data to assess your center's goals. And you'll probably continue to draw on those surveys and use of the center and what have you. However, it is worthwhile to bear in mind that you can use the data that will answer the question you have. For instance, something like the best practices might be a useful kind of framework for setting up a center, but whether or not it addresses a particular question you've got about student learning right now may not be that helpful. Do you have a mission statement? Well, yeah, and you always do, and you did last time, and you do now. So that's just kind of a way of, it's like an accreditation when they ask you, do you have a mission statement? It's not really a research question, it's a, are we set up properly question. So you might want to use the data you've got, or feel free to be creative. This is planning forward now for 18-19 academic year. You use surveys. There's also, of course, a college survey, which has some questions about student learning. You use SARS to keep track of coming and going and so on. You might, these are ideas for data sources, which you might start thinking about, like using alumni outreach. How well did our center serve you? We might try to get boutique student achievement reports from PRE that will show us about students who use the center and their relative success levels. There's sort of, post-transfer data. I mean, there's lots of questions that we would like to ask with data resources we don't have at our fingertips. Sorry, just before I leave this slide, I just want to add a caveat. We're not Facebook, so although we do track student data, every time a student deploys their ID number, we're capturing some data. But we don't have a team of 150 analysts who live to do nothing but give us tailored reports on this or that research question. I think we have 1.5 data analysts. So we're really thinking in terms now of the kinds of questions we'd like to ask. Whether or not we can just turn around to PRE tomorrow and ask for specialized reports, probably not, because they've got enough going on right now. Question 4, what about TrackDat? Well, what about it is what I say. TrackDat is a documentation software. If it helps you, and if you have been keeping information in there and you can run reports on it and it's great, then by all means continue to store your data in TrackDat, continue to record your analysis and next steps in TrackDat. Excellent. I would also like you to submit a very brief assessment plan to the SLO coordinator, because that's a lot easier to keep track of than TrackDat. If you are the person who enters stuff into TrackDat and then you go on leave, your successor will not be able to tell what you've been doing. So that narrative in the assessment plan is a lot easier to follow. And if that is enough for you, if you just want to submit, that assessment plan and you want to hang on to your data, you've got your own Excel spreadsheets or what have you, that's fine too. The assessment plan on its own will be fine. Finally, we are developing a better website with more resources, and this PowerPoint, of course, should be up there now. We're developing an assessment handbook. We will also be holding more workshops on the Flex Day. If this is before the Flex Day, then know that October 10th we'll be working on this some more. But in the meantime, we hope this has been a bit of use, and happy program reviewing.